Hello everyone, I'm GhostSalt, and today we're going to be covering access codes. Now, an important thing we need to know before we start is that we should not solve any module before we solve this one, because it'll strike if you do, as mentioned at the top. So, just to demonstrate, if we solve this conspicuous looking, but not so conspicuous looking simpleton,
You have violated an area protected by a security system.
And of course, if you enter any incorrect code, it'll strike. I'm not going to do that. So, this manual has 3 sections, and we're not going to use these top 2 if we don't have modded ports. If we have modded ports, then we use this section. If we have voltage meter, we use this section, blah blah blah. We're going to use this section first, and then I'm going to go over these 2 later in the tutorial. So, for any of the 3 sections, we're going to look at the serial number and write that down. So, Lima, Bravo, 1, Kilo, Whiskey, 6. And we need to convert these letters to base 36, or from base 36 rather, into base 10. And to do that, we keep numbers, so I'm just going to do this. This is a 6 because it's just a digit. This is a 1 because it's just a digit. This Lima, or any other letter, we take its alphabetic position, so Lima is 12, and add 9, which is 21. Bravo is 10, no it's not, it's 11. Kilo is 11 plus 9, that's 20, and Whiskey 23 plus 9 is 32. Hope I haven't messed that up. Okay, now what we need to do for this bottom section, for each number in the converted serial number, look it up in the table below. So that's row, column, for example, if your number is 5, then you would do that. And then, for each letter in the code that has been previously discovered, so say for example your current code is ABC, you've discovered these 3 letters through this grid, you're going to consider the rules down here for each of them in order. So, and then we should get a 6-letter code afterwards that we punch into the module. So, let's start. 21, that's Bravo in the table, so we write that down. So, Bravo. Next up we have 1-1, that's a delta, but it's not a delta yet, because we still have to follow this Bravo's rule below the table. And it says, if it's a Bravo, move up 1 cell, wrapping around if needed. So we move up to Foxtrot, and our next character is a Foxtrot. Then what we need to do, for the 3rd character, which is 0-1, so that's that, we need to follow both rules. So moving up 1 cell for the Bravo, and if it's a Foxtrot, interestingly, subtract 1 from each letter's alphanumeric position in the grid. So you don't have to do that like during the ordering, you can do it at the end. So say for example you have Bravo Delta Delta Foxtrot, we would move up and then left left and then add, or if you have Bravo Foxtrot Delta Delta, you do the same thing. You don't have to add immediately. So, hope that makes sense. Adding 1 or subtracting 1 from a cell is basically taking the alphanumeric position and doing maths on that. So, this is a 1 because alpha is 1. Subtracting 1, we get 0, and if it leaves the range 1 to 6, add or subtract 6 until it's within that range. So we'll get Foxtrot, which is 6. And that's our next letter. 2-0 is Charlie, not yet, though we have to move up and add, or subtract 2. So Echo, Delta, Charlie is our next letter. 32, Foxtrot, we move up, Charlie move down. We don't have to do these Foxtrots yet. And then subtract 2, so that's Foxtrot, Echo, Delta, and that's our next character. And finally, we have 6, so there. Move up 1, interesting enough we don't use these cells, or this big cell. Move down 1 more again. We don't need to do these Foxtrots yet. Move left 1 cell, and then subtract 2, so that's Alpha, wrapping around to Foxtrot. So that's our last character, and then we simply submit that into the module, and we're done. And up next I'm going to be showing you modded ports. Okay, so we are back with another access code, and this bomb has modded ports this time, so I can demonstrate that. Okay, so starting off with the serial number, we convert that to numbers like normal. So that's 14. 14 add 9 is 23. 5 is normal. 22 add 9 is 31. 17 add 9 is 26. And then 1. So, for each of these modded ports, and there's quite a lot here, so we should get a good demonstration, we need to add digits to these numbers. So, starting with these ones, this is component video, these 3. So let's add 3 to each of these digits. So 17, 26, 8, 34, 29, and 4. This is a composite video, so we add 1. Sorry for background noise, by the way. Okay. Other side, we have a VGA. So let's add 2. It's 20, 29, 11, 37, 32, 7. And we have these 2 again. So we can add 4 because they sum to 4, so that's 11. Just add 1, add 3. 36, 41, 15, that's 33, and 24. And then the last port, that's a USB. So since it has 6, we don't actually have to do anything. So, because we're modulating these numbers by 6. So, then we have to mod these all by 6 and add 1. So 24 mod 6, that's 0, so that's 1. And I'm also going to convert these to letters as I go with this setup. So that's A, alpha. 3, so that's 4, so that's delta. So that's 3 again, so that's 4, so that's delta. So that's going to be 5, so 6, so foxtrot. 0, so 1, so alpha. And again, we're going to have another 6, so foxtrot. And then we just punch that in. So alpha, delta, 5. And that's that. And then we're going to do the voltage next, finally, and that'll hopefully be you knowing how to do access codes. Alright, so here's the third and final, well not really final, second, rule set for, oh that's a lot of them, rule set for access codes. So first of all, we need to take the serial number as we have done the previous 2 times. So that's Kilo Echo 6, Echo Uniform 0, and I'm going to try to do this fast. So that's 20, that's 14, because you know how to do this by now, but I'm hoping you know how to do this by now. 21 is 30, and 0. So, all of these voltage meters actually show the same reading, so we don't need to worry about all of them, we can just look at one. And then we need to follow rules in comparison to the voltage. So our voltage is 123.5. So we use this rule. Add the sum of the first 3 numbers to each number in the converted serial number. So these 3 numbers, we need to add the sum of these 3 numbers to every number. There's a lot of rules that say to do things like prime positions and sum of numbers that are greater than or equal to 13 and less than 13 and odd positions and blah 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 blah. You just need to worry about one of them. So sum of these ones, that's going to be 40. So we need to add 40 to each of these, so that's 60. That's 54. That's 46. That's going to be 40. That's going to be 70, and that's going to be 54. And then again we do the same thing as we did before in the first section, and modulate these by 60, or 6 rather, and add 1 and convert them to letters and submit. So this is going to be 0, and that's add 1, so alpha. That's also going to be alpha, because that's that. 42, so that's going to be 4, so 5, so echo. That's going to be another alpha. That's going to be an echo because that's equal to 4, so we add 1, so that's echo. And another echo. So, weird codes. A, E, A, E, E. So, thanks for watching. This is Access Codes, this is Ghost Salts, signing out.